premiere episode of Sheldon Cooper Presents Fun with Flags.
Okay, couple of things to go over for today's tech update with yours truly. We've got Howard Stern out at SirrusXM, and we're going to look into SirrusXM. How many people do you know are still listening to it? Maybe they are. I don't know. We also have, let's see, some gaming debanking pushbacks. If you've been following the big debanking thing that's going on at Steam with Visa and MasterCard refusing to fund certain games. So we're also going to talk some gaming, AMD, and their new deal with Xbox. But starting out, Howard Stern's show may be canceled. Host promises he'll be back. All right, so Stern's contract is up in the fall while Sirius is planning to make him an offer. They don't intend to... Okay, so we're not going to pretend that Sirius is going to make him an offer because SiriusXM lost 303,000 self-pay subscribers. This is the Hollywood Reporter. This goes back to May 1st of this year. And the audio giant led by CEO Jennifer Witz reported its first quarter results as it faces the impact of U.S. tariffs on new car sales. Now, my opinion is they're not losing subscribers simply because of car sales. That could be. But I, at one time, had SiriusXM. It was very expensive. And then this thing called Spotify came out. And I for one, I thought the quality of the sound on SiriusXM when I listened to it, it was not always the best quality. The sound didn't, sound so great. And I also thought there was a lot of repetition of songs. You would, even if I would change channels on SiriusXM, I would hear the same song on different channels. And I think that kind of, over and over again. Some good individual streaming stuff or podcasts that were on there, that's true. But for me, the price, it was really expensive. So I ended up, if I'm listening to something today with the internet and mobile internet, you can listen to even podcasts off YouTube and Spotify. So I got rid of SiriusXM. I don't need it, and I can have my AirPod in, listen to that, take phone calls. So let me know what your take is. Do you think SiriusXM is still relevant? Is it going to grow? Is it going to be around? So in the Hollywood Reporter back in May, they said SiriusXM lost around 303,000 self-pay subscribers in the first quarter of 2025 on lower overall subscriber and advertising revenue. The audio giant, by comparison, shed 359,000 self-pay subscribers in the year period, and SiriusXM ended the first quarter with 33 million total subscribers. In September, the satellite radio and media company completed its spinoff from controlling stockholder Liberty Media. But with the recent, the not renewing Howard Stern's contract, obviously, the company has not been doing very well. My opinion. It's stock price there that closed after hours Friday, $21.43. So let me know what you think on SiriusXM. I'm Spotify or YouTube for what I listen to today. I'm not going to pay that. It just seems like a lot of money. But maybe it's different. So this goes back to this week. We had President Trump sign an executive order that could end the MasterCard and Visa gaming censorship. This is from thatparkplace.com. On August 7th, President Trump signed an executive order titled Guaranteeing Fair Banking for All Americans. This is aimed at curbing what the administration describes as politicized or unlawful debanking. And this order prohibits federal bank regulators from allowing financial institutions to deny services based on customers' political or religious belief. Also, niche gamer, Trump signs executive order to contest payment processor censorship. And this executive order, the same thing. Within 180 days, the date of this order, each appropriate federal banking regulator shall, to the greatest extent permitted by law, remove the use of reputation risk, or equivalent concepts that could result in politicized or unlawful debanking, as well as other considerations that could be used to engage in such debanking. Now, this comes on the heels of Steam. Steam's been in the news recently for, this is from Engadget.com, and this goes back to July 16th. So, Steam now bans games that violate the rules and standards of payment processors and banks. So, Steam has added a new rule to its guidelines, and that has resulted in certain games getting banned. According to a report by Automaton, the new clause states that content that may violate the rules and standards set forth by Steam's payment processors and related card networks or banks or internet providers is not allowed and could result in removal from the platform. So if you've been following this whole story with Steam, they've had countless games that were pulled due to different groups complaining about the content of the games, and they complained to Visa and MasterCard. And Visa and MasterCard has this almost godlike power to just say, okay, well, we're not going to allow processing to go on for this game or that game. And so there's been a concern that this is, this could be used in a lot of ways. This could be used as a form of censorship. If you're not allowing different platforms that you may not agree with and you complain and the bank just pulls the plug on being able to buy that game, there's some concerns about that as far as free speech goes. You could be curbing free speech with this banking regulation, and you've seen this. There's been a huge backlash in the gaming community, calling Visa and MasterCard to complain about their attack on these games. So we'll see what happens, but it looks like it's gotten attention at the federal level. And I'm not saying that the executive order is just about the Steam game thing. I think there's other instances where people have been debanked based on various political beliefs. So we'll see how that goes. In other news, AMD stock rallies on plans to power Microsoft's Xbox devices. This is more bad news for Intel. Advanced Micro Dynamics. This comes from tipranks.com, August 7th. AMD, also known as Advanced Micro Dynamics, their stock rebounded on Thursday after the semiconductor stock dropped with the release of its latest earnings report. One bit of news revealed in that report that had investors excited is an ongoing collaboration with Microsoft. Now, one of the things that makes this a big deal too, it's not just Microsoft that AMD provides chips for. It's also Sony, and they're also working with Sony for the PlayStation 6. So if Microsoft works with Sony on the PlayStation 6 on their chips as well. So AMD confirmed that it will work with Microsoft to develop the system on a chip for Microsoft's Xbox devices. This includes the next generation Xbox, handheld gaming PCs, and more. Investors are already aware of AMD's contributions to the ROG Xbox Ally X, a handheld gaming PC coming out later this year. However, the mention of other devices, including PCs, has some wondering if Xbox has plans to release its own line of pre-built gaming PCs. Xbox has been dedicated to its Game Pass subscription service this console generation, as the Xbox Series XS hasn't sold well. Well, maybe one of the reasons it's not selling well is if you have a PC now, you can go down and click on Game Pass, which, the app is part of your Windows 11 build. And you go, well, what do I need an Xbox for? I can also, not only that, I've got all of these. So for me, I don't know why I would ever buy an Xbox console again, since I can just play everything Xbox off the PC. But AMD stock moving today. AMD stock was up 5% as of Thursday morning, extending its 42% year-to-date rally, and shares have climbed almost, 19.6 higher over the past 12 months. AMD and Intel They've been some of the top chip makers in the world. Intel, this is lot great news for Intel. I think Intel, it would be great if Intel could get a contract going between these two companies. That would be wonderful. Taking a look at Steam. Top sellers. Counter-Strike 2. Yeah, there we go. Counter-Strike 2 still doing well. Still sitting at the top of the charts. Hang on. Stuck. Can't, yeah, there we go. All right. Battlefield 6. Let's see here if I can get this to play real quick. Hold on. All right, this looks pretty good so far. But again, I feel like so many Battlefield games have been kind of. Well, we'll have to see. We'll see how it does. See what else we got going on here. Xbox Game Pass. All we're looking for. Let's see on Game Pass this week. What do we have? Yeah, I mean, you've got Assassin's Creed Mirage, Rain World Farming Simulator. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. And that's Game Pass. Steam. Top sellers on Steam. Let's take a look at quick VR titles because I know who doesn't love the VR. The kids love VR, right? Let's see. It's the usual. Any good sales here? Oh, Myst. Oh, look at this. This is like a really old game, but so much fun.
I could see that the future was open before me, written by others, pages of a remarkable book. My life was not set in stone by the ink on a page. I chose to travel this new path, not because it was required, but because it was astonishing. The thought of the splendid, vibrant, unforeseen worlds that would lie along this new path brought life to my very core. That remarkable book of new beginnings. And yet, even as I cherished it, I had to let it fall from my grasp. But
Trying to remember how old
realized
Myst is.
that I
I
fell
think
into
that goes
ocean
way
that
back.
would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse.
Okay. Oh, coming soon to 2D and VR platforms. Wow, that's pretty cool. That was Myst. What else we got? I'm taking a look. VR titles this week. Hitman and this winner, Pavlov. Horseshoes and hand grenades. Escape Simulator. That might be fun for VR. VR chat's still up there. Recommended for you, okay? No. Let's see, what else have we got? Chat, Blade and Sorcery. Right, all looked like fun. So going back to, let's see, let's go back to the charts. So we're gonna look at, let's look at top sellers. I'm gonna look at most played for Steam this week. Anything, what else do we have that's new that's coming out? Mm-hmm. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3 still has not come down in price. It's still $59.99. Counter-Strike free to play. Okay. And that looks pretty good. All right, what else have we got? Steam, Xbox Game Pass, all PC games. Okay, so if you're into the whole Game Pass thing, I don't know if you are or not, but they have a pretty big library. I think right now we can still do, let's see, we're 4% through Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and I think that shows commitment right there. Yeah, Doom, The Dark Ages, you can play through that a bunch of times. Oblivion, 3%. Lots to go there. Cloud gaming. And that's it. Where do we leave off with piece top charts on, what is this, mobile off? SensorTower.com. So off, what is this? This is off the Google Play. Okay. Roblox is still up in the top 3. Royal Kingdom. Right, Minecraft. Balatro is still up there. And then on the App Store, we don't want that. Okay, that's good. All right. And that's a bit. That's about it. Still looking to buy the Nintendo Switch 2. I kind of feel like I want to wait till it comes. Maybe there'll be like a Black Friday thing that's coming up. Not sure. But we might talk more about it later. And for the meantime, get out